The board is breaking in a way that is absolutely criminal, and the Denver Broncos are sitting there with a massive grin on their faces because a literal steal is falling right into their laps. We are talking about high-level, elite tight end talent that should be long gone by pick 62, but somehow, the stars are aligning for a draft day heist that will change this offense forever. If you thought this team was dangerous before, wait until you see the weapon they're about to hand their young quarterback. This isn't just about adding a body to the roster, this is about securing a cornerstone piece that can redefine how this team attacks the middle of the field for the next decade. Before we break down these absolute physical freaks and why the front office is salivating at the current draft projections, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, share this with every Broncos fan you know, and subscribe so you never miss an update on the orange and blue. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the prospects, we have to address the absolute circus happening elsewhere in the NFL because it makes what's happening in Denver look even better by comparison. There has been so much noise lately regarding high-profile journalists and their unconventional relationships with head coaches. We're hearing stories of private meetings on rooftops and bridges, and frankly, it's a distraction that winning organizations don't need. While some teams are out here looking like a total clown show, dealing with blatant hypocrisy, internal drama, and players getting into legal trouble, it makes you realize how lucky we are to have an ownership group and a front office that keeps things professional. We are watching legendary franchises in the AFC literally unravel from the inside out. It is refreshing to see our leadership stay focused on the gridiron rather than the gossip columns. Does seeing the total chaos in other AFC front offices make you feel more confident about the steady hand currently guiding our Broncos? The real story right now, the one that actually matters for our win-loss column, is the NFL draft news. The most plugged-in insiders, the guys who actually have a track record of being right, are noticing a massive trend: tight ends are sliding. While there might be one name taken early in the first round to break the ice, the rest of this star-studded class is dropping like a stone into the late second and even the third rounds. This is music to our ears because the Broncos have been doing an incredible amount of homework on this position. It's no secret that a versatile tight end is a quarterback's best friend, and for a young signal caller like Bo Nix, having a guy who can win one-on-one matchups is the cheat code we've been missing since the championship years. The name you need to burn into your brain right now is Eli Stowers out of Vanderbilt. This guy might actually be the best tight end in the entire class, and the fact that he could be available at 62 is mind-blowing. Let's talk about the physical profile here because it is rare. Stowers is a former college quarterback who converted to tight end, and he is a legitimate athletic freak. We are talking about a guy who was dunking a basketball in middle school. He has a 45-inch vertical jump that broke records at his pro day. He is essentially a heavier, more physical version of a premier wide receiver like Mike Evans. He's a fifth-year senior and a multiple-year captain. We know our head coach priorities maturity and leadership. He loves guys who have been the face of their program and have the coach's son mentality. Stowers fits that mold perfectly. Even though he played in a run-heavy scheme at Vanderbilt, he was lined up in the slot constantly, proving he can thrive as a move tight end. His hands are like glue, he has a career drop rate of only around 2%. When you throw the ball to Eli Stowers, he catches it. Period. He has the quarterback background to understand defenses better than anyone else on the field, and scouts are already saying he will be the hardest worker in the draft room. Question of the day: if Eli Stowers is still on the board when the Broncos are on the clock at 62, should the front office sprint to the podium, or is there another position like edge rusher or corner that you think is a bigger priority? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But Stowers isn't the only one making waves. The team has also been doing heavy due diligence on Max Klare from Ohio State. If you want to talk about versatility, this is your guy. Klare has played in the slot, in the backfield, as a wing, and inline. He has that rare, elite ability to throttle down before his cuts. That might sound technical, but it's the exact trait our coaching staff obsesses over. It's not just about how fast you are in a straight line, it's about how quickly you can change direction and create separation. That's why the staff loved players like Jalen Waddle in the past, and Klare has that same explosive twitch. Klare is another former high school quarterback and a multi-sport athlete who could have walked onto a high-level college basketball or baseball team. His catch radius is insane, making those impossible sideline grabs look like a walk in the park. While he's only 21 and still adding muscle mass to his frame, his ceiling is through the roof. He played against the best defenses in the Big Ten and consistently made defenders miss in open space. Imagine a guy with that kind of basketball-style athleticism boxing out safeties in the red zone. It's a nightmare for defensive coordinators. And then we have the powerhouse out of Georgia who spent his career playing alongside Brock Bowers. Now, we all know the coaching staff absolutely loved Bowers and likely would have taken him if the board fell differently, so the fact that they are looking at his teammate tells you everything you need to know. This guy is a total workhorse. He's arguably the best blocker of the group, which is a massive plus for our running game. He's a tough-as-nails player who has fought through stress fractures and torn ligaments just to stay on the field. He's the definition of a football player's football player. If he falls to the third round, it's an absolute no-brainer. He brings that SEC championship pedigree and a never-quit attitude that transforms a locker room culture. The depth at tight end in this draft is exactly what this team needs at exactly the right time. With the defensive front seven looking more settled, the tight end position is the final piece of the puzzle to give this offense a preponderance of riches. We've seen what our head coach can do with this position in the past. He has a history of taking talented prospects, from the days of Jeremy Shockey to Jimmy Graham, and turning them into household names and all-pros. He knows how to scheme these guys open and put them in positions where they simply cannot be covered by a linebacker. Whether it's a pass-catching specialist like Stowers, a versatile, do-it-all weapon like Klare, or a physical blocker with upside from Georgia, these players are day-one starters. They provide a security blanket for the quarterback and a vertical threat that stresses the entire secondary. The fact that these elite playmakers are dropping like flies on the draft boards is a gift from the football gods. It allows Denver to keep their picks, stay patient, and still land a blue-chip talent. We are looking at a coaching staff that is currently ranked among the absolute best in the league. With a top-3 offensive mind leading the way and a defensive coordinator who is widely considered the best in the business right now, the infrastructure is in place for a rookie to explode onto the scene. Our head coach doesn't just call plays, he builds careers. He looks for the sons of coaches, the former quarterbacks, and the multi-sport stars because he knows they have the high football IQ required to run his complex system. In Broncos Country, we have every reason to believe. The talent is falling, the plan is in motion, and the future is brighter than ever. We are moving away from the era of dysfunction and moving toward a period of sustained excellence. The draft board is a puzzle, and right now, all the pieces are fitting perfectly for Denver. Get ready, because draft night is about to be a celebration of how the Broncos outsmarted the rest of the league. It's time to get back to where we belong, at the top of the AFC West and deep into the postseason. The orange and blue are back, and these new weapons are going to be the reason why.